Good evening and welcome to round 9 of the PSGL Formula Performance Championship. Tonight we're here from the Marina Bay Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix. Now, as the drivers get ready to go out for their first runs in qualifying, let's take a quick look at the weather for the second night race of the season. So, qualifying we have dry weather and, like many of the other races in this championship this season, we have rain. So we're going to have rain in the middle of the race by the looks of it, and heavy rain by the end, possibly, for what is one of the longest races of the season. So, everyone's going to be going out on the best tyres, more than likely to get the best run, but there may be some different strategies because they want to be out in the rain, on the tyres rather, as long as they can, to time it perfectly for the change to intermediate tyres. Right, so there's a few cars starting to go out on track, but let's just have a quick look at the championship table. Timer Razine, better known as Oogie, is leading the championship after extending his lead to 9 points at the top from Dino and Fanis, who's a further point back on 50 points. Warsman King moved up to 4th in the championship with his podium at Monza, with Nitro Gas, who isn't racing tonight, who also failed to finish at Monza, in 5th place. So the last two races we've had the same person on pole position, Timer Razine, and the same race winner in Warren Haig, who won consecutively at Belgium and Italy to finish off the European portion of this season. So we've moved to the Far East for the first of 3 races in the region, starting tonight with Singapore, followed by Malaysia and Japan. So let's see what's going on the track. We see Philip in the Red Bull. Now we have a few new drivers on the grid tonight. From F4 we have Rossi, who's going to be driving the Williams this evening, and Suspud, who's going to be in the Mercedes. And returning to the grid after his Chinese Grand Prix controversy earlier in the season is Fragglepool, who will be in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, no problem, Haig, that's fine. Oh, I just saw Fragglepool hit the wall on his outlap. Now, is anyone actually doing a lap? Right, who is going out here? See if anybody's... looks like RDO. Is RDO the first person on track? Start a lap. Oh, and Shortbread, I think he's just slowing down for a fast runner. Right, so just seeing, there was someone on a fast lap, I'm pretty sure it was, yes, RDO. So he's done a 29.2 for the first sector. Let's go on board with him now. Heading up to turn 9. Oof, just avoids the wall. Then heading into turn 10, towards the bridge. Might have some traffic ahead, but hopefully he won't be affected by that. Into the tight turn 13 hairpin. It's really easy to hit the wall on the outside to the right, but he carries the speed fairly well there. Up to the end of sector 2, turn 14. Oh, and he's just hit the back of the Merc. Well, that's, well, I think that Mercedes, I don't know who that was, he's more than likely going to get a grid penalty. I'll try and find out who that was. Wouldn't have been to Spuds, because he's on another part of the track. So it must have been Mike. Yeah. Mike blocked him, unfortunately. So let's see if there's any times coming in. Phillips on with the fastest first sector so far. Boy with no face with the fastest second sector. So where is Boy with no face? There's Boy with no face. He's going to be crossing the line, I think, for the first completed lap. So 1:42.238. Philip looks like he's going to be the second runner. So Philip rounds the corner in the Red Bull, a car that's really suited to this track, and he goes second with a 1:42, and it's invalidated, so he'll have to go again. Now, normally, if it's a wet race from the beginning, you don't really need to worry too much about tyre wear. You can just do as many laps on tyres as you want, but it's complicated here because it won't rain at the beginning of the race. So they've still got to think about what sort of life their tyres will have at the beginning of the race. Yes, I did see that audio. It's on the stream if you want to review it later on. I caught it perfectly. So there's been a few more. There's been a few more laps now. So Fanas goes to a 1:43. He's in the manor tonight. Game Freak, because there's been new car allocations for Malaysia and Japan. So Game Freaker is in the Renault tonight. Spuds does a 1:45 on the Super Softs. He's in the Mercedes. I'm just going to quickly check if there was any penalties for that collision. I suspect there was. Interestingly not. I would normally expect there to be. I'm surprised Mike didn't get a grid penalty for that. Well, as ever, I advise the driver to report that through the usual channels if they feel it's appropriate. So there's no more discussion on it for now. Now here's Morzaman King coming through the tight final sector. In the Haas, I'm not sure where this is going to end up. He had a really good podium in Italy last time out. Around the final corner, I think this will be somewhere in the top 10, and it's third. Decent time from the driver there. So Boy with No Face has set quite the benchmark time. He's in the McLaren this evening. So he's 1.2 seconds quicker than Fanas currently. So we'll have to see who can challenge that. Now here's Game Freak is coming back in. So Spud, yeah, on his in lap. And here's Grumpy. Grumpy is in 7th. Not sure if he's doing another run. Mike got another out lap. So perhaps he had to come back in for a wing. No, RDO definitely had to. Rossi crosses the line in 7th with a 1:54 in the Williams. So he must have made a mistake somewhere, because I know he's capable much faster than that. And here's Warren Hay crossing the line. That's a flying lap. Tyrosine has gone 4th in the Sauber. Samba Kid looks like an in-lap, he's 5th at the moment. Rossi, now that's a better first sector, so I suspect he might be going for another run here, given that his first time was well off his actual pace. So I'll keep an eye on him. Now, is anyone else? Mike's about to start It's on a flying lap. Now RDO, having had his wing damaged by Mike, so he's come back out in the Force India, so hopefully he'll have a bit more luck this time. Here comes Warren Haig, the race winner of the last 2 races. He's on his flying lap, so let's keep an eye on him. Warren Haig, past turn 13 up to the end of sector 2, 29.478. That's comparative. Yeah, that's top 10 pace based on the first sector. I just want to see where Rossi is. Here's Rossi. Looks like it's a much better lap. This could be good enough for a front row position. And Rossi sticks it over the line, and it's second. Good lap from Rossi. Only just under 3/10 slower than Boy with No Face. Now let's go back to Haig, who really is the man in form at the moment in this division. Doesn't carry that much speed up to the line. It's 7th. I think he did lose a bit of time in that final sector. Obviously the super soft tyres don't have quite the maximum grip to go for that corner. Rumpy in 11th at the moment. Now RDO, he'll be on a flying lap, so he's one to keep an eye on. His first run was spoiled a little bit. Shortbread looks like he's on a flying run as well, as is Fraggle Ball. His first qualifying since China this season in this division. Dano is on an outlap as well, so we're getting a flurry of flying laps now. Boy with No Face looking to improve on his previous best. He's slow in sector 1. Mike's moved up to 4th with a 1:43.606, still 1.3 behind the pole man. So RDO 29.162. That's very, very close to the pole position time, slightly under. Shortbread wrestling with the car around over the bridge section, nearly coming a cropper there. Goes a bit slightly wide, struggling with the rear of the car. Yes, that is correct, Dino. The car allocation is for tonight and Malaysia, before it's then reviewed again by our good admin Fanis. Now let's see what RDO does. Now 39. Now he's gone. He's lost time in sector 2, but I think this should still be good for a top 5 if he doesn't mess up with the final sector. And RDO crosses the line in 4th. Warren Haig's in 10th at the moment, Connor, and good evening to you. And Shortbread crosses the line in 5th, so there are a few people emerging as contenders to Boy with No Face, but that was a superb time in the McLaren. So he looks like the man to beat as we click on to 6 minutes. Haig revealing his mindset on the possible strategy for the race, which is a sound one. Especially does depend on how quickly the rain comes, because as I've seen in the other divisions, the rain comes extremely quickly at this track, unlike other circuits. I mean, I've seen it come within like 2 laps and you have to come in for intermediates, so they've got to bear that in mind, because I suspect that the same thing would happen here. Now Game Freak is in 12th at the moment, 29.175. That's not quite the pace of Rossi's sector 1, but it's top 5 pace. Anyone else? Fraggle Ball struggling with the car a little bit. He's in 15th at the moment. Dano's on a time. And then Toro Rosso. He is the nearest challenger to Tyrotina at the moment, 9 points behind the championship, and he's in 16th. Decides not to continue the run. So I think they'll be coming back in for some tyres. Is anyone else on a run? Samba Kid on an outlap. So here comes Game Freaker. This looks like a very decent time. This could be very close. Oh, he lost a bit of speed just before the line, but that sticks it in third. 1:42.851. 4 minutes to go for this session for the Singapore Grand Prix in Formula Performance. Banners on an outlap. Currently in 7th in the manner. He'll be looking to claw some ground back to Tyrosine. He's 3 places ahead of his championship leader rival at the moment. Now, Morsman King, is this a flying lap for him or is this an in lap? Well, we'll find out in a second. He's currently in 9th place. Heading towards the finish line. Yep, this is definitely a flying lap. Flies around the final corner. Where will this put him? Stays in 9th. Tyrosine in 10th currently. Spud in 13th in his return to Formula Performance. Grumpy in 14th. Looks like he's on a flying lap here, fighting with the car. He's just gone through sector 1, 29.0. That's a pretty decent time for sector 1. Fraggleball coming back out on a fresh set of super softs. Something must have gone wrong in his earlier runs to be in 15th. Boy with no face still in pole position. Didn't beat his best time with that latest flying lap, so he's probably going for one more run. Now Rossi, he's the closest at the moment. He's about to start his flying lap, so I'll definitely keep an eye on him. Game Freaker coming back in. He may not have time to do another run. Oh, Game Freaker. What happened to Game Freaker? Oh, I think he was just going back in the pits, to be honest. Yeah, he didn't crash on the track. Boy with no face. Well, it doesn't say it's other sector times. Didn't improve. Grumpy's improved to 3rd. Good time from Grumpy. Now, Rossi. He's in a very good Williams car, and I think he could be the person who's closest to challenging. Samba Kid moves up to 4th with a 1:42.700. So I have to come back to Rossi at some point. So Mike's about to cross the line. Will he improve from 11th place? No. Where's Rossi? How does that compare? He's faster in sector 1, slightly a tenth down, not less than a tenth down in sector 2. So it's all going to come down to this sector. I think he's just about on par with Boy with No Face. Coming through the final sector. Now he's got to nail this final corner to give him the best chance of taking this pole position. And he crosses the line. Still second. Wait, what? I'm guessing he invalidated that lap because it was faster. But yeah, he must have done. Right, I need to retire. So I'm in the dark right now after this. We'll have a quick check, see if anybody... I suspect Rossi did invalidate that time. And he did. That's why he didn't get that lap time. Lots of invalidated lap times. And Grumpy's gone up to 2nd. By the looks of it. Yeah. A 1:42.315. So Grumpy puts himself on the front row of the grid. So we've still got a few people out there, I believe, qualifying. And here's Fraggle Paul. He's definitely on a flying rump. This will be his final rump. He's going to be sliding towards the back of the grid if he doesn't have a good lap here. Now can he nail the final corner? And Fraggle Paul end up still 16th, so he must have invalidated his lap somewhere, or it just wasn't quick enough. Mike's in the pits. Spud is going slowly, he's in 13th. Tarazine's in the pits. Vanis in lap. Now here's Phil, he looks like he's on the end of a lap. And he takes pole! Phil takes pole right at the death. Oh, that's come out of nowhere. So we're going to have a Red Bull on the front of the grids. He's stolen it. Brilliant lap from Phil there. Well. Boy with No Face was on provisional pole virtually the whole session, and right after it finishes, Phil steals it. Great effort there. I think we're just waiting for Grumpy. I believe he's not on a flying lap now, but he's gone down to 5th. Oh, I swear it said he was 2nd earlier. Maybe that was an invalidated lap, or some people just beat him. Well, I think we're just going to wait for Grumpy's car to get back in the garage, and then I think we're done. Well, it's been quite an intense qualifying session. Track position can be quite important on this track, despite there being much more overtaking opportunities here than at another traditional street circuit like Monaco. But it's going to be all about where you're going to be on track when the rain comes. Are you in the right position to pit straight away rather than doing an extra pit stop right before it falls? That will decide whether you have a good race or not for many of them. And there it is. There is the grid. Phil takes pole position by 0.3 of a second. It's very close between the next 4 cars. Boy No Face. Rossi and Shortbreads on the 2nd row. 3rd row is Grumpy and Warren Haig. Samba Kid and Game Freaker on row 4. Row 5 is Morsman King and RDO. And then we have 2 of the championship rivals on row 6. The 2 Mercs on row 7. And then Dano and Fraggle Paul on row 8. Right, now I don't leave the session. I didn't see any lag from Phil on my screen, but obviously it can be slightly deceiving when you're watching with a spectator. So yeah, I think we'll see a lot of the people outside the top 10 going for softs, trying to go as long as possible and avoid trouble. Right, so now judging by the weather here, the weather's going to come quite early for the intermediate conditions, so we'll have to see. So we're going to have light rain, then heavy rain, followed by light rain again. So this dry weather is not going to last very long. So if it comes early, those who opted to start on the softs, it may not play into their advantage because they won't have the pace of the people in front of them. So this is going to be very interesting indeed. Right, let's see, just got to rejoin. Well, according to the weather reports, we're going to have rain in 5 minutes. So that should be very interesting. Now, of course, it's a very long formation lap, so should get there with plenty of time before the start of the race. Now, this is one of the potentially most difficult turn ones for everyone to get through safely. So let's go through the order. Oh, He crashed. So, Fraggle is starting on the super softs, Dano on the softs, Mike on the super softs, Spud on the super softs, Tyrosine, the Formula Porsche Championship leader, is on the super softs. Fanas is on the super softs. RDO is on the ultra softs. Warsman King on the, yeah, there you go. Top 10 obviously saw on this finish on. So not as many soft runners as I suspected, but I believe that is, as soon as they saw the weather, the rain possibly coming very early, they opted to go for the faster tyre. Grumpy, did he leave the session? Ah, now Vettel. Wait a minute. Okay, so Vettel is in. Looks like Grumpy's had some connection issues, so I'm hoping he can rejoin, otherwise we might have to do a safety car restart. Lights out, away we go. Now we're going to see if Grumpy can retake control of his car. If not, we're going to have to do a safety car restart. Philip takes the lead. Grumpy, if you're watching this, let us know in the chat if you can rejoin. So Philip for now has control of the race. Boy no face just behind. Okay, we're doing a safety car restart. Sorry guys. Okay. Right, that's a pity. So yeah, we're going to have a safety car restart, unfortunately. So we'll have to just wait. I'm going to make a new stream for this, so we will see you shortly. Thanks, guys.